ondes du 1670 AM Radio Jeunesse. Je suis en direct du Centre Chat pour la conférence des Optimistes International. Comment ça va? Bien? Is everybody feeling positive today? Yeah! Is everybody happy today? Yeah! Everybody got their stress ball today? Yeah! Alright, so a few times during the show, I'll tell you to squeeze your stress balls and get the stress out and the positive in. So how are my guests today? It's good. So we have Matthew Nassif, we have Maria Girolando, and we have O'Hara Wickham. So we have a president, international junior president, is that it? Yep. Past international junior president, and we have Miss Canada. So I'm going to start. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for that.
And then ended up going into pageantry, and then from there I met the president of my local Optimist Club. And if you know Optimist, when you're an optimist, they grab you in basically, and you don't get out. So I just kind of started doing events and appearances, and then when I was doing a local title, I decided I wanted to go larger to be Miss Canada, and that if I won, Optimist was going to be my platform. And here we are today, spreading the good word. Yeah.
So you're an important figure in Canada now. A lot of girls look up to you. How do you make sure to spread positivity?
Yes, so another one of my platforms is self-care and holistic health. And so I can't help others if I'm not being my best self every day. And this just comes from taking care of my mind, body, and soul. I love giving back to the community, but I can't give back if I'm not functioning at my best. So first of all, I just make sure that I am eating healthy, I'm sleeping a lot, and that I know who I am and what my goals are. And therefore I can translate these to other people, and I can explain what my goal is to them and what I'd like to see them do as well in the community. And it's been really, really exciting so far, and I'm excited to do even more.
Cool. How has the Optimist Club positively impacted your life since you've been in it?
Yes, so I've been an optimist for 2 years, and I joined, and right from the get-go, I had amazing mentors, and they allowed me to start shopping for underprivileged children and kind of co-hosting events. And now it's taken on the role of me becoming the vice president of our local club, and hopefully I get to move up the spectrum of Optimist International, and I would love to be on the board of directors at the international level as well. And they've just given me so much hope and opportunity, whereas sometimes you feel like maybe you don't have a voice or you won't have a good input, but they allow this, they embrace this, and they want us to have our say and have our input. So now I'm chairing my own events, and I'm getting more people involved, and now my goal is to travel across Canada and get other people joining in.
All right, so let's go on to Matthew. So you're a president right now. How did that happen? How did you go from a teen guy to an international president?
So essentially, my family's been in the Optimist organization for years and years. I always make fun of my grandpa because I say he's the old Optimist, because he's been an Optimist since 87 or so. And I always tell the story of when I was old enough, my mom put me into the program. It all started, hey, there's a meeting for Optimists. I said, so, you're going. What if I don't want it? She said, too bad. And I was in the story, because we all know, argue with your mom. But in all honesty, joining the Junior Optimist Club in my town was probably the best decision I've ever made. Because what happened was from there, I gained public speaking skills. I gained skills to go out and do things in the community. I always had this drive to make people smile and make everyone happy and make everyone feel like they're included. So using this program, you see people from all, for example, here at the convention, you have people from Anguilla, you have people from California, people from Iowa, people from Canada. And they're all coming together with one purpose, to make their communities better. So for me, it all started with, I came to my first convention, and I was told, or given the advice, hey, maybe you should run for board, which was the international board. I had heard about the convention, and I wasn't sure if I was ready. But through that experience of going through the campaign and talking to people and seeing what people really felt, it gave me that confidence of, I can do this. So now I like to give that on to other people when I mentor, for example, next year when I'm going to mentor the president-elect and the new board with what they should do. And the biggest thing about optimism is, I always like to say, it's like a puzzle. In each community, let's say, I'll come up with the community Coronado, California. let's say they do a drive. That's one puzzle piece. You got another community like Brooklyn, Ontario. Another puzzle piece. You had a community like South Grey from Ontario. It's another puzzle piece. All of them add up together, and you get this huge sense of worldwide teamwork to make the whole world a better place. So it's really interesting to see that, and that's what I look forward to.
D'accord. Ça se vide qui vient nous joindre, c'est ça, je me trompe pas. Ça va bien?
Très bien, moi.
Ça va bien. Comment est-ce que tu petit optimiste dans ta vie? Comment as-tu réussi à être un exemple de personne positive et optimiste? Qu'est-ce qui t'a inspiré à faire ça pour les gens autour de toi?
En français?
Peu importe ta langue.
You know, it's a lot of little things, and it's not always easy. I think I guess it's part of my message. I live with type 1 diabetes, so how do you stay positive and optimistic every single day? You're gonna have bad days, and I think it's fine. I think it's okay to be vulnerable, and a big part of my journey has been just to go one step at a time. I love to remind people, and I think it's a very important part of my story. I've accomplished a lot in sports, but I'm not really good in sports. I was that guy who was picked last every single time in the team in high school. And I succeeded in sports, but I'm not good in sports. And it's two very different things that can coexist. So I had to change the story I was telling myself. I love to promote that message. The story you tell yourself is very important. You have power on that. You can change that story. You can dream big. You can aim high. And if you believe in it, and again, you know, it's not easy. And I think that story doesn't get told enough right now. One of the things I don't like with social media right now is that we are bombarded with just the summit, with just the end point, with what it looks like. And we're not told the story of the process enough. And you have, whatever you want to do in life, whether it's business, sports, it doesn't matter. You have to be in love with the process, and love every day, and love what you do. And I think when you understand that, when you agree with that, it's so much easier to remain positive because the bad things are going to happen. And if you can accept that they're part of the journey, if you can stay focused on why you do it. And this is probably the most powerful tool that I can give to people. You want to stay positive, you want to stay optimist, always stay connected to not so much what you want to do, but the reason why you're doing it.
That's an amazing message. So keep in touch with your journey, not exactly always the end point.
Absolutely.
All right. So O'Hara, you are graduating soon, and you were president before. How will you keep spreading positivity through your life, even though you're going up to college and into a new world?
All right. Well, before I start, I'm just going to say, I can't believe you put me last because this is extremely hard to top off. She eats well and she's talking about sleep, and I don't do any of those things. Well, he's talking about how amazing he's doing with his life, and then that was a keynote speaker, so I'm not going to lie, I'm a little intimidated right now. This is a very impressive crowd. But in regards to how I plan on continuing my positivity, the reality is, as he said, should I talk a little louder? Oh, all right. So positivity, I absolutely agree. It's not just something you can say you're positive or you're optimistic, and that's exactly what it is. It's something that you have to put a lot of work through. And I know this because this is something I deal with every day of my life. I don't think most people know about this, and this is something I try to keep under wraps, but I'm going to be honest, I think this is the best time for me to actually maybe do something with everything I have. I have anxiety, and I have depression, and I do have to deal with this every day of my life. And it's been tough. There's been times in my life where you feel you don't have a purpose, and I know it may seem, wow, this is really intense, but I know a lot of people also deal with this as well. So it's not just me. And for a long time, you think you're the only one who's dealing with it. and you don't have a purpose, and you can't find where your passion is or what it is that drives you. And for me, what drove me was actually being a part of this organization. Yes, I did want to pull my hair out a couple of times because, you know, people are people. We don't always get along. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but that's just human nature. That's how things are. But because I was able to do the one thing that makes me happy, which is actually help other people, I've been able to, I guess, find a purpose and a reason to keep on going. So when it comes to finding a way to continue my positivity, I guess it just becomes, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep working for my community, finding those different ways I can help other people, be that person that someone can go to when they need someone, because that's kind of what I was, I don't want to say what I was made to do, but in an aspect, that's my entire personality. So, wow, I started talking for a long time, so I greatly apologize, but I guess that's one way to answer your question.
You were saying, oh my God, I'm last, how am I going to top it off? I think you pretty much match up. Can you give her a round of applause for that? The youth in the crowd.
Merci beaucoup.
Has there ever been a time where you found yourself in a dark spot, and if so, how did you get out of that spot?
Est-ce qu'il y a déjà eu un temps où vous êtes trouvé dans un coin noir de votre vie et comment en vous êtes sorti?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Olivia.
Olivia. Est-ce que tu veux répondre à la question?
Ok.
Quelle question?
Oui. Donc, en anglais ou en français?
En anglais,
Anglais.
en anglais.
Has there ever been a time where you found yourself in a dark spot, and if so, how did you get out of that dark spot?
Yes, for sure, many times. I usually just surround myself by more positive people, so I have a lot of health problems, and that has put me in like a really dark spot. But with the hospital that I go to, all the doctors are very happy and just it will get better sort of thing. So being surrounded by those people who are saying like everything's okay and everything's gonna be okay, it just helps a lot.
Elle a vécu dans une vie très négative. Il y avait beaucoup de...
Talking a lot about mental health and like over and Matthew shared. It's super important realizing that depression is on the rise. I'm someone with depression and anxiety too. And it's tough because that's something that it's easy to feel ashamed of, and it's easy to think, oh my goodness, I'm helpless, there's nothing I can do about it. But optimism as, you know, as a whole, as knowing that we have a team and knowing there's people to back you up, I think it's easy to agree that the world's a little dark and the world could use some sunshine. And any little thing we can do, like they were saying, any little change that you can make, that makes an impact in one person, and that still brings just a little more light into the world. And I think that's worth a whole organization to affect one person's life, and hopefully we can continue doing that with all of the youth in America and worldwide. That's all.
De quel endroit, Lily?
Gatineau.
She's from Gatineau. Her name is Lily. Your story, Lily.
Ben dans le fond, je fais de l'athlétisme, track and field, compétitif. Fait que j'ai besoin d'un quand même bon mental, j'ai besoin d'être positif parce que si je suis négative, ben les compétitions, ça n'ira pas bien. Dans le fond, tu peux juste faire un sourire à quelqu'un, puis saluer, ça va lui faire plaisir, puis ça va lui mettre un sourire en face aussi.
Ça doit t'arriver d'être négative, Lily. Qu'est-ce que tu fais quand en compétition? Je sais pas, moi, quand ça t'arrive, tu fais quoi? C'est quoi ton outil pour devenir positif?
Oui, ça m'arrive souvent d'être négative, fait que je vais voir mon coach, où je visualise ma course.
Merci beaucoup, Zoé.
All right, so our friend...
Hills Junior Optimist Club. So, in answer to your question, I play tennis, and as I told some people already, I have Asperger's syndrome, so some parts of exercise are kind of hard for me. I can't run that fast and things like that. But playing tennis, I've learned to keep an optimistic spirit alive. I am currently on doubles. I'm not the best, but every time that we missed a point last season, I told my partner, we got the next one. And eventually, we got the next one, and we won some of the games. And it was really, really cool to feel that rush, and we also won some of the sets of matches, if you want to be more specific and have a tennis fun. And that feeling that I finally belonged, that I was finally able to win after a couple years of playing, it really, really helps. It really made me feel happy, and I don't think I could have done it without having the other people around there and being able to have that optimistic spirit saying, I'm going to get that next one.
Thank you for sharing.
I'm from the Junior Optimist Club in Virginia. So I'm a dancer. I've been dancing for, I think, 14 years now. And when I was younger, I had a lot of sensory issues. All my shoes were 3 sizes too big, so whenever I wore tap shoes, I looked like a penguin. And being in that environment, being with dance teams and dance classes, it's almost like a mini optimist club that people there to support you, and slowly but surely I started to lose all those issues, and now I'm able to dance, and luckily my shoes are the correct size. But things like that, being able to work with people, and I've been in dance teams that I've been the same group of girls for 10 years, like that. So having those groups of people that are with you and want to see you grow and see you achieve and accomplish those goals, I think is really important.
T'as pris la bonne personne.
C'est le fun, on peut parler à Maria aussi. C'est quoi ton nom? Juliane, parle-moi, qu'est-ce que tu fais pour le quotidien? Pour garder ton mental fort, mettons.
Je cours. À tous les jours, je suis obligée de m'entraîner. Ça garde mon mental fort, là. Puis, mon coach, il m'encourage tout le temps, là, puis c'est tout le temps positif, là, même quand ça va pas, là, même quand je me blesse tout le temps. Là, puis,
Mon Dieu, qu'est-ce que tu fais comme sport?
Athlétisme.
L'athlétisme, c'est dangereux. Tu peux traduire ça, Zoé?
So, and this kind of also goes back to the question that was asked earlier about is optimism a choice? Or is optimism sort of contagious? And I think that's, me personally, just how with contagion, I don't really think so. Because the thing is, if you had just 2 people in the room, one of them was the best optimist that you'd ever seen, one of them was extremely happy, just a go-getter, wants to get it done, and the other person in the room with him just says no. Doesn't want to be optimistic, doesn't want to be happy, they make the conscious decision to just not. They can be in that room for hours, for days, for weeks, for years, and the second person will never feel that optimism. The second person will never feel that happiness, unless they say yes. I think of optimism as being contagious as much more as a handshake. I think, let's say, I'm optimistic. Will you shake my hand?
Yes, I will.
So now she's an optimistic. She's an optimist. Now, however, if I then went to someone and asked, I'm very optimistic, I'm very high energy, will you shake my hand? And they say no. No matter how hard I try to have them shake my hand, if they just flat out say no, if they flat out refuse, they will never become an optimist. Translation?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Merci, Zoé, d'avouage, là.
Pas de problème. Donc,
how are you?
Yes, you.
You have a beautiful hat.
Thank you.
And very nice smile, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Avalon.
Where are you from?
San Diego.
San Diego. Oh, and what did you do every day for the power of big thinking, positive?
I think about the blessings I have in my life, that I get to go to a Christian school, and that I have a loving mom and grandma who care about me.
That's really nice. Thank you.
our guests, we're wrapping up our session. It was very fun. Can we give a round of applause for everybody sharing? Sharing. It might not show, but we really do, so thank you so much for sharing. Back to our table, we're going to be closing soon. Is there anything, what do you want people to remember from this panel today?
go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, so everything that everybody just mentioned, what you do to stay positive every day, how you try to spread positivity to other people, that is so important because any day it could be so easy to give into the negativity, into the doubts. And I know there are so many days where I think, wow, it would just be so much easier if I could just lay on my couch and do nothing. And I wouldn't have to deal with the people, the pressure, and the negativity of it all because no matter how good things get, there's always going to be a little bit of bad, and you can't avoid that. So it is so important to hold on to what makes you happy each day and what keeps you going and what drives you. And just remember those things anytime you doubt that. When you're having a bad day or you're having doubts, when you push past that, that's when you grow and that's when things get amazing. So take a little bit of the heat, take a little bit of being uncomfortable just to get to that other side where it's a blissful place. And I'm just so proud of you all for even being here because I would have never dreamed about being here when I was younger. So keep being positive and spreading that to others.
Thank you for that. O'Hara?
Okay, so I know this is probably going to sound extremely cliche, and I apologize in advance, but I'm going to say this just because I wish someone had said this to me a couple years ago, a year ago, a couple months ago. There's a lot of times where things look like they're not going to get better, and I know because sometimes you're in one, and I get in those a lot, but I'm going to be honest, they always do get better, and it may not seem like it at the moment, it may seem like everything in the world is just kind of crashing down on you, like nothing's ever going to make sense anymore, get back together, how are you going to glue it all together again if you're missing some of the pieces? But the reality is that's just a fragment of what you see, and it's a fragment of your life, and yeah, it's going to be tough, and you're going to have to deal with it, and that's a crossroads that you'll get to at one point in your life, one way or another, but you can always push through it. This is coming from someone who's been there, and if it's something you could have done, I promise you, I've probably done it or tried, so I know what it means to get to those low lows and experience that complete numbness where you don't know what's going to happen. But I guess my remark would be, it does get better, and I mean it in all honesty. It may not seem like it does, but it truly does. You just have to hang in there.
Pour les Français, oui, bravo. Maria and O'Hara said is that Maria finds it really inspiring that everybody here is here at the age you are. It's a great. Why am I speaking English? Okay. Maria est vraiment inspirée de voir tous les jeunes qui sont ici et que c'est une très bonne initiative à votre âge d'être ici parce que ça commence à quelque part. Il faut que ça commence à quelque part pour avoir un cheminement. Puis vous êtes tous ici parce que vous êtes optimistes et c'est quelque chose qui vous intéresse et c'est très remarquable. Et O'Hara dit que des fois, sans que le monde s'écroule, tout devient très difficile et c'est correct. Mais il faut savoir que tu peux tout le temps t'en sortir et que ça prenne longtemps ou pas longtemps, ça va devenir très difficile, mais tu peux t'en sortir. Il faut savoir ça, il faut savoir que c'est un passage dans la vie et que ça ne continue pas comme ça et qu'il faut continuer à braver et on peut s'en sortir. Merci pour ça, les filles. Slash.
Okay. I have 4 tips because this is all very good conversation, but sometimes it's just words, and I get that. So 4 things you can do, then just draw, and it's from all of our conversations. 3 you're going to like, and 1 you're not going to like, but I think they're all powerful. So my first tip is you need to exercise every single day, or almost. And I want to be very specific about that. You don't exercise because it's going to make your body look a certain way 3 months from now. And you don't exercise because it's going to make you go like faster. You need to exercise because it makes you feel better today. And it does, mentally and physically. So that's number 1. Number 2, have a dream, have a project. And something that is about others. So I don't care if it's climbing big mountains, you want to go to the Olympics, you want to have a business, you have to have a project, you have to have a dream, and make sure it's going to have an impact on others. So that's number 2. Number 3 is very simple. You need to go in nature a lot. And it's very simple. It doesn't have to be the Wild West. You can just go in a park, but you need to go in nature as much as you can to slow down the pace. And then number 4, and that's the one you're not gonna like, I'm just making an assumption, be very cautious of social media and the toxic effect it can have. The whole world we live in is designed to make you think you're not pretty enough, you're not rich enough, your weekend's not cool enough, your life's not cool enough, that you don't have this and you don't have that. So if you want to go all the way, I would just delete it. And you don't have to delete it forever. Try for a week, try for a month, see how it makes you feel. But if something's making you feel not so great all the time, then you should stop that. That's true for social media, that's true for relationships, anything. So these are my 4 things, and I hope that's impactful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for leaving us with something that we can actually apply in our day-to-day life, something we can live with and practice. Exercise, swimming, nature, and be careful with social media. Donc, ce qu'il a dit, c'est qu'il y a 4 types pour la vie de tous les jours, de ce qu'il faut faire pour rester, garder une morale positive. Donc, faire de l'exercice, rêver, avoir un rêve, avoir quelque chose, avoir un but, vouloir faire quelque chose, toujours se garder ambitieux, aller dans la nature, aller, pas nécessairement dans le Wild West comme je le dis, mais garder un contact avec la nature, que ce soit aller marcher dans un parc, le parc à Gatineau, ou un parc en général, ou dehors, ça fait du bien. Et aussi le 4e, faire attention aux messages toxiques que les médias sociaux peuvent avoir et aux effets toxiques que les médias sociaux peuvent avoir dans notre vie. Mais aussi lancer le défi d'enlever complètement les médias sociaux pour une semaine et voir qu'est-ce qui se passe dans nos vies. C'est assez intéressant, ça se peut que Mathieu qui va prendre la
So, I'll just start off with a little background. I went to this convention and a leadership convention a couple months ago, and I always remember this one line was, you can't succeed without failure. You need to fall in order to get back up. You need to, very generically, you need to have that rain in order to have rainbow and sunshine. So you always have to follow your passion. And that's where find what you're passionate with. You also be patient. You won't wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm going to be an artist one day. I'm passionate at art. You will have to wait and see what you truly do love in order to follow that. Because when you follow that, it'll take you places. You have to stick with it. You probably hear Instagram people say all the time, stick to the grind. And I'm not saying that in a generic way. I'm saying that keep working and keep following your passion until you reach that end goal. Because when you fall, that end goal tastes so much sweeter. It's like when you've been, it's a really bad metaphor. It's like when you've been waiting all day. It's like when you've been waiting a long time to eat, and the food tastes better. If you stay patient, you keep following your passion, you'll get it.
Ce que Mathieu veut souligner, c'est que tu ne peux pas réussir sans échouer. Il faut échouer. Quand tu échoues, la victoire devient meilleure et il faut travailler. Donc on peut pas s'attendre à ok, je veux devenir artiste puis d'avoir ce qu'on veut du jour au lendemain. Il faut s'attendre à un cheminement et il faut apprécier et faire le cheminement et travailler vers notre but. Il fait la petite métaphore. C'est comme quand on attend la nourriture. Je pense que certaines, j'avais déjà entendu ça. Moi, mes parents m'ont toujours dit ça. Quand on attend, ça goûte meilleur. Et il a dit ça dans le contexte de travailler. Quand on travaille fort, la victoire, on se sent plus content. Donc, oui, madame.
Moi, je regarde dans la salle et puis je vois notre futur. Alors, ce que je suis rendue, c'est notre futur. Et je m'aperçois que ça ne fait pas de différence dans quelle partie du monde tu appartiens. Les problèmes sont tous pareils. Alors, c'est avec persévérance, avec optimisme, vous allez tous réussir. Le temps arrange toutes choses et toutes choses arrivent pour une raison. As I look into this hall, I can see that all problems are worldwide. It does not matter what country you come from. But with perseverance, optimism, you will get to where you want to go. Because everything happens for a reason. And there's always a reason for everything in life. And thank you very much for being here.
Sébastien, merci d'être venu avec nous. On apprécie vraiment ta présence, tout ce que tu as dit. Moi, je vais le retenir. Je sais que les gens dans la salle vont le retenir. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, O'Hara, for sharing what you did. It's so important, and I think that even if it's one person in this room that will feel inspired by what you said, it'll be well worth it. So thank you so much. Merci d'avoir partagé ce que tu as partagé, c'est très important. Si ça a juste affecté une personne dans la salle, c'est aussi important que si ça en a impacté. Thank you, Maria, so much for being here. Everything you said was so inspiring, from just being a normal girl in school to being a normal 20-year-old and then being Miss Canada. It was very inspiring. Merci d'avoir partagé comment tu as fait ton parcours d'une fille de 20 ans à Miss Canada et comment tu gardes le positif dans ta vie. How you keep positive in your life. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matthew. Merci, Matthew, for sharing everything you did. You do have a higher energy, like Maria was saying. I can feel it. You're always smiling, and it's great to talk to someone like that. Now I'm smiling, so we're all smiling here. So thank you so much. Merci, tu souris beaucoup, c'est très contagieux. Moi, je sais que je souris pas, ça va. Je pense qu'il y a pas mal de monde dans la salle qui sourit aussi maintenant, mais merci beaucoup. Merci Nicole d'avoir partagé avec nous ce que tu as partagé. Thank you Nicole for sharing what you did. We really got to see the difference between the 60s and now. On a vraiment pu voir la différence entre les années 60 et maintenant. And to what point our society got better on certain aspects like mental health. Comment la société a avancé sur certains aspects comme la santé mentale, and how now we can talk about it and not be ashamed, and we shouldn't be ashamed of it. Maintenant on peut en parler et ne pas avoir honte, et parce que ce n'est pas matière à avoir honte. Donc thank you, merci. Un dernier applaudissement for our guests and for you guys, nos invités et pour vous. Donc, les mêmes applaudissements, la dernière fois.